Welcome along. So apologies. I have Mr. Setterfield, Dennis Setterfield, and the Brumhead family. Do we have any other apologies? Stuart. Okay. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's great. That's great. Congratulations to David and Anita. Annette? Not sure. Hey, it's Anita, isn't it? Anita Setterfield? Lynn. Sorry, Lynn. I have no idea. Any others? No more apologies? Bruce Barton. Do we have any new members or visitors tonight? No suckers to be made fools of? Stand up, tell a story? Nobody? Okay. Are you okay? So, there's a... Sorry, shouldn't ask, no. You're right. So the couple of people that I know that need a special mention tonight is Peter Lambert. Peter's doing it really, really hard. Although I did speak to Jeff, and he thought he was very positive, but from what I hear, he's doing it pretty rough. And of course, Mr. Platt, who decided to take a... Oh, he's back. Who decided to take a dive. Or not 45. I reckon you're an inspiration, Roger. I'll be climbing a ladder for ages yet. If you can get up like you did, you obviously bounce well. I did try and get in touch with Pete to see how he was getting on, but I got no response. Obviously tied up. Sorry. Did you say something, Tony? No, I don't think it's too much smoking, but I think it's probably some form of the really nasty, shitty stuff. Yeah. So I don't think it's really flash. So I guess, like I said, welcome to the first meeting for 25. Welcome to the people on Zoom. I think they can see us. We can't see them, but we can. We have got the Zoom running, so they'll be listening in. We've got a great start for the year. We're going to go out to Sugarloaf Reservoir this Sunday. If anybody wants to go for a road run leading up to it, can join me out at Littledale Lake. I'll be there about 9. We'll head off about 9:30 and take a little drive through the countryside. Try and get up to Christmas Hills at around 2:30, where I think we're going to get a cup of coffee if we're lucky. Yep, Pete and the boys have got all that sorted out. It should be a nice day up there. And then we've got Garage Crawl on Tuesday the 25th, and we think we've got and that's at the Elfin Heritage Centre in Moorabbin. And I think with a bit of luck, we've got a couple more in the pipeline as well. One to the Knox Carpets, yep. And I think there's one other that someone said they're working on pretty hard. Jackie and George have been working really hard on the annual tour. I think they've got it all bedded down, and I think George is going to talk to us about it in a few minutes, so we'll just leave most of that to him. I just wondered if there was anyone else that we knew that needed a shout out. When Peter and Roger were the only two that I was aware of. No? All right, so that'll do for me for the time being. Secretary's report, Mr. Plowman. Oh, sorry, the minutes of the previous meeting. My apologies. Has anybody read the minutes of the previous meeting? Yep. Is there any business arising from the minutes? We haven't got a. Okay, so do we have a mover for those minutes and a seconder? Yep, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so John Plowman, Mr. Secretary. Take a mic, otherwise they can't hear you on Zoom. Oh, the mic's just there if you want to grab it.
Hard to get good help, isn't it? Yeah. And I've got nothing to say either, so thank you. Yeah. Only joking. It was a little bit quiet over Christmas. There's been quite a few magazines coming to the club, which you'll see in on the website and for your perusal. Haven't got any actual paper ones here tonight, I'm sorry. And for those who are interested, there's an Adelaide Chrysler Festival on the 21st to 23rd of March, if you feel like going for a bit of a cruise, the weekend after the long weekend. Not much else. Frank, were you going to talk about the AOMC at all? Or?
I can do that later, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Nothing else from me. If anyone needs some name tags, I'm placing another order next week. So if you want people to know who you are, makes it easier than just calling your mate or g'day or whatever it happens to be. So let us know and I'll organise that for you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, John. Kath, you want to tell us how broke we are or aren't?
Okay, for the end of January, term deposits 44,761.31. Our trading account has $33,357.60. Our long-term assets are $1,168.28, which is a grand total of $79,287.19, which is the same as the bottom figure, so we were all good.
Bloody marvellous.
Oh, and also we actually, because we earned $1,664 in interest in our term deposit, we have to pay the tax man $416 for our first tax return.
Never thought you'd see the day, did you? No, I didn't either. Sorry? Yeah, right, okay. All right, thank you. You want to move that? Yep. Can we have a second for the Treasurer's report? Frank, thank you. Events report. Who's going to do it? Pete, you're going to stand up and... Oh, we got the pub lunch from Andrew, this month's run, if you want to elaborate on that. The garage crawl, if you want to elaborate on that. How did Fluid Drive go? You'll need a mic. No, you'll need to grab a mic, mate. Grab the one off the corner here. Excuse me. Turn it on. Yep, turn it on.
There we go. As Frank mentioned, it's at Eltham Garage. It's down in Moorabbin. The details are in the magazine. The only thing is, if you haven't registered, will you please register so we know how many people are coming along. And on the day, you need to pay $5 to get in, which gives you a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, and we'll provide a few hamburgers and stuff like that there from 6 o'clock, isn't it? I think till about 10, roughly, till it finishes. Frank covered the other one, which was the Sunday's drive, and that's pretty much it.
So Sunday's drive, I guess the one thing we need to be aware of is that we're planning to have a barbecue.
Yeah, and if it's a
total fire ban,
then it's bring your own. Okay.
Yeah, I thought we'd still be able to have a barbecue, but no, they won't allow any barbecues going. So
okay,
bugger's that. Fluid Drive.
Fluid Drive. Yeah, we went to Mel's Cafe the 1st of February. It wasn't a real good turn up. it's a great venue. There was only 11 cars there, 11 club cars, 4 modern cars. Mr. Witham, Shane brought along his Pontiac, which is a ambulance, and it's sort of, sorry. No, well, he was there, and there was a Ford there as well. But no, he was talking about the vehicle and what he intends to do with it, and yeah, it was a bit of a mix between 54s and 55 parts on it, and yeah, but it wasn't a bad show, and it was good to have a talk to him. So that's about it. And the next one is at Cafe Oggy, which is number 1 Lakeside Avenue, Berwick. Okay,
Is that for March?
March. Yes, it is. It's the next one.
We've got it down as Mel's for the next
Okay.
one. Yeah,
Oh, well, you
because
probably
I didn't have anything else to put in, so I thought the first 2 we were having this year were going
I'll
to
have
be
to check.
at Mel's Cafe. So that's what I've got anyway. Thank you. Whoa. First person to talk has to catch it. Okay, so magazine, same. Really, if you've got any articles, get them into me. Now, stupidly, I've forgotten who, but someone has got an article sorted out for me that it's coming through a friend, so that should be good. And I have a couple from new members that I haven't been able to put in, so we should be right for the next month or 2. National Rally update, John, have you got any information? I mean, I've heard very, very little. There is? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, so what John's saying is accommodation is the important thing. It's on, mate.
Sorry about that. Just talking about the national rally to Leeton later in the year. Griffith, I should say. Next door is another rally I'm going to. National Chrysler Rally in Leeton, in Griffith. Sorry, for those who haven't been, we have one every 3 years. We share it between the New South Wales, South Australian, and Victorian clubs, and it's New South Wales' turn this time. We're going to Griffith for a week at the end of September, which should be really good. So if you haven't entered yet, you've still got about 6 weeks before you need to get your entry form in. But the key really is if you want to go, you need to get your accommodation booked or you might miss out. There is some information on the club's website and also a list of accommodation there if you need it. You can also look it up on the New South Wales club's website as well. Or if you've got any questions, see me afterwards and I'll actually get the bit of paper out. Sorry, I haven't got it with me.
And I do still have a couple of entry forms with me if anybody wants one. Just hold on to that, mate. Might give it to George in a minute, please. So I'll just very quickly speak to the AOMC. Now you're thinking about the insurance, John? Yep. So I attended the what I thought was only going to be a special meeting. So that because they had to change their bylaws to allow for another class of membership so that we can take advantage of the group rates of insurance that AOMC's been negotiating for probably the last, oh gosh, it's got to be 2 years, I reckon. But they've got it very, very close and they've got some really sharp figures. There are some conditions. One is that we actually have to become a different member. We have to become a membership plus now, because the membership plus means that we can take advantage of the insurance because they can't sell us an insurance policy. So it becomes, if you're a member plus, it means you're taking an insurance policy with them. So it's basically a huge policy, and they share components of it with different clubs that want to be part of it. There are some conditions, like you can't be a club that has lots of committees, and the different committees create the runs on their own because it's just too hard. We have to put some things in place, which as a club, we're pretty close to having them in place, but it's mostly dotting T's and crossing T's and dotting I's. Yeah, it should probably save us, cut our insurance costs by about 50%. So it's pretty good. Now, George, would you like to tell us about the annual tour? And thank you very much for all the work you've done so far.
Yes, it's been certainly a long time trying to organise it, because most weekends now, on this particular weekend, is taken up. All the cities are putting on displays or festivals and all that sort of thing to get their money in. So it's their biggest financial weekend. But anyway, with the Ballarat tour, we had a lot of problem where they, because of the Begonia Festival that's on, with lots of places, they wouldn't take us or have us there because we were too many, or they're already organised to do. But what we did is we decided that we would go then around in the outskirts out of Ballarat and have a look around there, but with still a chance for you to be able to have a look in the free time to have a look at the Begonia Festival and what is happening in Ballarat as well. And on the Monday, you'll be able to do it at your leisure. So you can go around because the festival's still going pretty strong on that weekend. But just as a start off, we're going to, on the Saturday, we'll meet at the Mill Market there, just out of Ballarat, just down past Cryal Castle if you're coming from Melbourne. And they've put aside a whole area for just the Chrysler Club to be hitting, and they'll keep it separated. So when you go, if you're coming out of Ballarat or if you're coming from Melbourne, there's 2 service stations on the corner there. There's a Shell and a BP, I think it is. Turn to the right into there and go in behind. There's a laneway up the side, and they'll have people there to guide us in so that we keep they'll keep the other people out of the area. So it just belongs to us. They've been very good people to supply some stuff to us and all like that. It's a big place, so you'll have plenty to look at, and you'll have a box lunch there. From there, once we're finished, we'll go out onto the highway and go back towards Melbourne, but it's only two streets away. On your right-hand side, you'll see a sign that says Bungaree. You'll see Cryal Castle first, go past that. The next one's just down the road to Bungaree, and we'll go down into the town, and you'll go to, on your right-hand side, 2 old hotels. Well, the second hotel, the street just past it, turn to your right, and only a short distance up the road at the top of the rise, there's a homestead on your right-hand side there. We will have a look at the tree collection that he has got there, which is all sorts of things. One garage, one shed is taken up with tractor seats. I never realised there were so many different types of tractor seats around. But anyway, but then the other shed is very, very interesting. And then when we're finished there, you'll leave after we've had afternoon tea. You'll be able to leave at your own leisure and go back into the ones who haven't yet got to their accommodation. That we go to accommodation or have a look around Ballarat. That night we'll meet at the Masonic Centre, and we'll have our dinner there on the Saturday night. And the good part about that is off-street parking, and it's all secure, so we don't have to worry about leaving our cars out on the road or anything like that. Now, Sunday is the one that's the interesting one. Beforehand, on Friday night, it's at the Ballarat trotting track at their entertainment centre is where we're going to have our dinner. They've set a whole area aside from us, but it's order yourself. You just go up, order your meal and your drinks and all that sort of thing and pay for it there. We've given them the numbers of how many people are going to be there, so they're going to keep an area set aside for us. Now, Sunday, we've got a few things happening, and we need to consider a couple of things. Now, Saturday night, well, at the Masonic Centre, it's a bring your own, because they don't have they've got a liquor license for the thing, but they've got no liquor on site, so you've got to bring your own, that's all. Now, that would also go if on the Sunday's lunch, if you wanted to bring some drinks along, it'll be BYO. Now, we'll be leaving at 9:30. We must leave at 9:30. We'll meet at the Eureka Stockade car park there. We'll leave from there and we'll go out to Strangeways. We'll leave out and go through Berwick, because we'll go one way and come back the other. You got to consider we'll be travelling through the old, what they call the Golden Triangle. A lot of old buildings and houses and little tiny towns, but which were big towns in their day and things like that. But we'll go up through Creswick. As you're going out on the main road, we'll come to a big roundabout after we leave Ballarat, but you'll see it. There's plenty of signage and all like that. We'll turn to the left and follow the sign to Creswick. And then when we get to Creswick, we'll then turn off and head towards Newstead, and then travel to Newstead. And then when we get to Newstead, we'll get the Newstead-Guildford Road. We'll turn right, and approximately about 4.5 kilometres down on the left-hand side, they'll have a yellow flag out the front, and that's where we'll get to see the carriage collection. It's a very big carriage collection that they've got, everything from little tiny carts up to stagecoaches, and they've got a massive collection of lamps and things like that, so to have a look at. And that's where we'll have our morning tea. And then from after we've had our morning tea, we'll go back towards Newstead, but only for about a kilometre and a half. And we'll turn left and turn over a railway line. I'm giving you the directions now just because on the day there might be a confusion. And we'll follow that road down, and it's the Newstead Hepburn Road. When we'll go through 2 towns before we get to Franklin Ford, sorry. And as you're approaching the town, we've got what they call, it's a Y section. The road goes straight ahead. It curves around to the side, and there is another road off to your left, but don't worry about that. Take the right-hand road. Please take that curve on the right and follow that down, and it's only a short distance down, and we get to Cricket Willow. Cricket Willow, you'll see it there. You won't miss the cricket bat and the cricket field out the front, where this has been about 4 or 5 generations of people that they've grown all the trees to make cricket bats and make them. It's been a family affair for all that time. They even have their own cricket pitch out the front, and that's on what they call Shepherd's Flat. Now, for the ones that are not coming in to have a look at that or seen it before or something, when we turn to go into there, they can just continue on and go into Daylesford, and then from Daylesford turn off and go back to Ballarat. The only thing I'm going to stress here is when we leave Cricket Willow, some of the road is very curvy, and there's a couple of big dips till we get into Hepburn Springs. Not too bad so long as you keep your speed down. Don't be racing, because they're a bit. And we did a pre-run yesterday, and there's a chappie on a motorbike coming around the corner, and he thought he was going to end up on my radiator, but anyway, he managed to stand up. That's about all on that. Now, what we ask is that if you bring along some chairs, because at our morning tea at the Strangeways, they haven't got enough seats or anything like that. They've got some for some people, but otherwise bring your own to sit down and have your cuppa outside or whatever. Now, the other thing that I sort of wanted just to talk about was the distance from Ballarat to Strangeways, and then before you get back to Dalesford is about 110 kilometres. So if you need to know how much fuel or how far you could go on a tank full, because otherwise you would have to top up at Creswick or somewhere like that, you know. And I just don't want someone to go out like our old cars are, the tanks are only about 9 gallons or something like that, you know. And when you only get about 18 or 19 miles to the gallon, it doesn't go far. So just be aware of that to make sure that you've got enough fuel to get you there. Now, we're at Cricket Willow or Shepherd's Flat. There is no shops or anything around there. So if you haven't booked in for the meal there, you'll have to bring something along for yourself, because there is no close by shops. The closest is Dalesford, which is only a short distance down the road, but it's about, because of that windy road, it's probably about 15 minutes away, yeah, 20 minutes away. Now, I got hit with one, which I didn't know about until I come here tonight, and someone pointed it out to me, that when we do, on this run, when we're coming back after we've left Cricket Willow, we'll go into Hepburn Springs, comes to a T intersection, we turn right and follow that into Dalesford. Well, we come to a big roundabout. Just as you come into there, you go round that roundabout and turn right and just follow the A300 straight back to Ballarat. But at this particular weekend, the Gay Festival is on, but it's down on the Victoria Parade, which is the other end of town. But there will be a lot of other traffic there probably. But on the way down to the Ballarat, we came past yesterday, and the only bit of rough road you'll have is they're resurfacing about half a kilometre or kilometre at the most of road. They're resurfacing it, but it's not too bad though. Anyone got any questions so far about any of this? Nope. So,
If you're booked and you're going, George is being very modest. There's a whole itinerary with all the directions marked in there. So if you get lost, you've forgotten your grade 3 reading,
yeah,
you should be just fine.
Yeah, it's all in your itinerary, which you'll get in the pack. But I'm just running through it to let you know about this. And when you're in Dalesford, if you're thinking of going, the lady there was talking about, you're going to the art gallery. The main building is closed over this weekend, or it's been closed for a couple of weeks while they do some repairs to it. And in your packs, I brought some things back, so there's plenty to look at and look to do in Ballarat on the Monday. Other than that, I think anything from the committee? I think we've covered most of it. Sorry? Sunday night, which is at the Sebastopol Bowling Club. They've got if you go round, there's got a parking area at the front, but if you go around the back, they've got a big area around the back there to park as well. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, stay behind the slow cars. Yeah. most of the road, unfortunately, because it's in the goldfields, it's undulating road from Ballarat to Newstead. And from Newstead, it's pretty flat out to Strangeways. And then as we're coming back, as I said, the only real rough, when I say rough road, is that area from Cricket Willow into Hepburn, where we've got those big dips and hills and in the gullies and up. But the rest of it's pretty reasonable road. There's no real stiff climbing or anything like that. We just had a lot of most of the things that were happening around Ballarat were already organised and all that sort of thing. But we were too big of a club for them to take us to do any other thing, you know. So it took a lot of looking around to try and find out. So that's why we decided to move out of Ballarat for the actual run and around the tour, because we could do that without stressing too much, because you get about 45 cars we've got coming. You try and get them across a road or something or other, or stay together as a group, it becomes very hard to do. And not only that, you're holding up all the traffic around the place as well. And most of the other places we're going to are quite happy to see us come there. That's it.
Thanks, George. That's great. Thank you very much for all the hard work you guys have put in. Yeah. Pub lunch. Where's the next pub lunch, Andrew? Dawson. Sand. Yep. So. So that's down in Springvale, isn't it? Yep. Beautiful. All right. Thank you. Sorry, the run on Sunday, if anybody's thinking about joining us for the road run, there's a running sheet with a map on it. A couple of copies here if somebody wants to grab one. If they're still here, I'll take them home and we'll hand them out on the morning if anybody turns up without one. Okay.
I'd like to hand out some flyers for the Federation Scoresby Picnic. It's a free show down at the Scoresby Steam Centre. And I've got some flyers here. Nick, can you take one and pass them to your left and right there? Take one and take one of these and come down. It's a great run. On a good weather day, we'd get 200, 300 cars there. And it's free.
Federation of what?
Federation, mate.
Oh, Dandenong Valley Historic Club. Oh, that federation. Okay.
The AMC and you've got the Federation.
Yes. Yeah, I'd forgotten that.
And the Federation were first with vintage cars, actually. Then the AMC came in. Never mind.
I'm sure you're right.
But anyway, come along, it'll be a great night. Weather's good. My granddaughter is singing. We've got animals down there, and it'll be a great night. Great day. Sorry. That's it.
Are they going to run any of the steam machinery?
Yes,
They are.
the machines will be there, and for those who haven't been there, there's a huge indoor model railway, probably half the size of this room, and they've got all the huge. We've been there. It's a cross club.
Yes, we have. Yep. Their steam festival is coming up soon too, isn't it? It's in the next week, or it is the same long weekend that we're away. Yep. So if you're not coming on the tour and you want something to do, that is an absolutely brilliant day. They have those big plough engines and things like that. So yeah. Merchandise. Dave, you want to tell us about? We've got some number plates still. Who's looking after the merchandise? Nigel. Thanks, Nigel. So new members, we had a few this month. Miguel Latorre, Alan McAlavey, Kate Baringrud, John and Sally Trull, Emmett Hengst. None of who are here tonight, I don't think. No, but welcome along. That's great. The CPS memberships, if people don't know, the membership for the club is well and truly overdue. And I think Rachel has made a list of the naughty and nice, and the list is going to Vic Roads very, very soon, unless someone gets onto her or Kath and says, help, I'll still pay now. But it's got to be soon. Sorry? Have you? Yeah, well, probably be worth letting them know before the naughty list goes to Vic Roads, because that just gets messy. Garage gossip. We got anybody doing anything really good in the garage? Anybody doing anything mediocre they'd like to share? Shane, sorry, mate. Why? Hang on, wait, tell us the whole story in the mic, mate.
When you're carrying stuff around the garage,
You gotta turn it on.
is it on? No,
Yep.
it is on. When you're carrying stuff around your garage in a box in front of you, be meaningful to sort of have a bit of a look from the side every now and then and watch out for airlines because they grab you by the feet and then they retract and throw you on the ground really hard. But you get to spend a week in hospital, which is great. So, oh yeah, I did, unfortunately.
Where did you fall? What did you hit?
Concrete.
Ah, smart ass. What did you hit? What did you hurt? Egg on your head. Yeah, right. It's not forgiving, is it? That concrete. It's just that concrete just is not forgiving. Yeah. Come on.
I had a fall myself. Every time I go to the specialist, they say, have you had a fall? Must be a standard question they ask. And I don't know what happened. Turned the garage, next thing was on the ground. Hit me head on the compressor and I was skew whip. And I had a bone fusion both ankles, a replacement knee, shoulders crook. I had no idea how to get up. But to call Heather, work out where things are and got a foot out. Sorry. Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, she worked out which way my leg was. Me arm, only a couple of ribs broken, but apart from that,
So was
all
that
good.
blood pressure?
Eh?
Was that blood pressure? Did you take a turn? Did you have
don't
it?
know.
Heather?
Don't know. No idea.
Probably what it was. Yeah.
I turned and next thing I was on the ground.
I was crawling around. I was in Seymour, Main Street of Seymour. I parked up at an old ACO and it wouldn't start. So I crawled around underneath to give the starter motor a bit of a clout. And I crawled out and stood up. And the next thing I was flat on my back on the nature strip. Don't even remember going down. I just remember waking up and having to get up. That was ugly. Cut the grass. Nothing. No, I just fell flat like a bag. Yeah. Hasn't happened again, thank Christ. Any more garage gossip? Yeah, mate.
About 5-6 months ago, a lady, Mandy Turner, came here, Motor Memoirs. You remember it? Yeah. And I put my hand up for it because I was turning 80 and I've had my FCU for 60 years. Well, we've done it and she's totally professional. It was a brilliant time and a great 36-minute USB. Very pleased. The family have seen everything else and it's magic. So if you want to do it, talk to her. She is really sharp and on the ball. Very well done. A couple of GoPros and cameras and everything else. Yep. I'm trying to. Thank you. I'm trying to. Yeah. Hips are playing up. I've been plumbing today and I'm a bit sore. Yeah. But anyway, so Mandy Turner is the girl to see if you want to do something about your vehicle. Spot on.
The committee has actually toyed and discussed whether we should use Mandy to do a video book for our 50th anniversary.
She'd be excellent.
Yeah, I'm sure she would be. We're just waiting to see if Mark is still working on the book that he wanted to do, because I don't think we should do both.
No.
But if Mark, for some reason, decides that the book is not going to be a go, I think we'll bring it back to the committee, to the meeting one day. I reckon we should do the video because to me it sounds like a great idea.
Oh, it's marvelous. She came over and I asked her to bring the 356 replica, which is a little convertible.
Yep. Yep.
Beautiful. It's 78 model. It's American, that thing. And of course, beautiful car.
Yep. Yeah.
It's too low for her, she wants to raise it, and she's into it, she's got 63 volting. On a normal, real car, it's like, volts breaking up, never even heard of it. 3-cylinder, 1,000 litre, 3.5 litres per 100. Oh, that's good economy. Yeah. So.
Pretty-
yeah, recommend
Pretty
it.
amazing, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Thanks, mate. That's nice to hear. It's good to get some real life feedback. She certainly sounds like the goods. Yeah, that's great.
I've still got contact details for her too, if anyone wants to contact her. I've still got the email because I was liaising with her when she came here, so you need to, want to contact her.
Do we have any cars or parts for sale or anybody looking for anything? Yep, Shane. After a wide body 2.6.
For a 5-speed.
What?
Yeah.
Start again. Start again.
What was it? KM 132 for a Sigma. Well, not a Sigma, a Mitsubishi Scorpion.
A wide block for a Mitsubishi Sigma.
Yeah, yeah.
Scorpion. Well,
Scorpion.
same, just different.
Same, different, but most of them are smaller blocks.
Yep.
And this is the bigger block with
Yep.
the bigger crank and.
I've heard
Yeah, KM 132.
I've heard of them. I've never seen one in real life.
Yeah, well. Yeah, the gearboxes handle 400 horsepower apparently, so.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
little
going.
tiny thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. Well, someone might have one. There's actually been a few on Marketplace, Shane.
That's where we got this.
Okay. Give me a ring during the week and remind me about it because I bought an RB30 off somebody, but I reckon he told me that he had a heap of Sigmas. All right. So my running sheet says we've got no guest or invitation.
Sorry, I got one, Frank. I got one as well. Just someone in the club had a call from someone who's not a member during the week. They've got a 1971 Chrysler Coupe for sale. It's in pieces though. So if anyone's interested, just come and see me afterwards and I'll pass on the number. That's all I know. Yeah, well, if they've called it a Chrysler, I presume it's Chrysler by Chrysler, but I don't actually know. That's all the information we were given. So, yeah, cool.
Come up, get the microphone, George.
No, I just wanted to ask what you think about this Casey Council trying to charge for our own cars and all that sort of thing on our own properties. How bad is that going to become?
It's not as bad as it sounds. I live in the Casey Council. The person that was on the TV was a liar. Well, I don't know who he is, but he's telling a furphy. Those cars that were taken away weren't even his. The property they were on weren't even his. He's supposedly. Okay. Okay, that's not what the council's saying, but you're allowed to have cars. Yes, and he'd been told before to move them or get rid of them, which he refused to. And yes, but he's been took. Yes.
What actually happened? Right? Took the car, brought his property. Now, telling them to trust them, to go up. Get something. And she pulled it. That. I'll tell you that probably two things. Can't really see detail, but if you watch like covering this whole meadow, they put the water in the left. Hang on, mate. If we're gonna keep this discussion going, we really need to pick up the mic so that everybody can hear it, because otherwise the people at the other end can't hear. And they've lost 5 minutes. They've been sitting there for 5 minutes not hearing a word. Turn it on.
Hello?
So we're talking about the issue in Casey with the council supposedly taking cars. And Shane and Ermi know some people. Yep,
Yeah.
know them very well. I heard this whole thing on YouTube, Facebook.
Yep.
Actually listening to it on the way here tonight. So
Yeah.
it's making the rounds, that whole interview with Tavo or whoever he is.
Yeah, Travis, yeah. Travis Layer.
Rumor was that he didn't own the land. He does. He doesn't.
You
own
need
the
to
land.
speak into that mic. Sorry, Ermi.
He doesn't own the land, but we've seen the section 32 that states very clearly 20 years ago when he bought his property that he gets 2 acres out the back on a 99-year lease for $1. And he paid that $1. He's owned the land for 20 years.
The reason for that is because the church that actually owned the land didn't want to mow it or take care of it. So he said, hang on, I'll take care of it and mow it. And they said, well, if you're going to do that, you can have it for a 99-year lease for $1. That's the story.
All the containers that are on that land, he has a permit for from the power company that runs the power lines through there. The shed he's built on that land, he has a permit for from the power company. And it states very clearly that if the power company needs to do any work on that land, he has to move the shed and the containers of his own cost. So it's, I don't know what it's called. It's some sort of, it's the same as if you build something on an easement.
To play devil's advocate though, what gives the power company the right to authorise buildings and town planning?
That part of the land is federally owned.
Federally owned.
Federally owned because of the power company that runs through the high tension lines through it. So land is, yeah, both sides. So he's got land on the other side as well.
Yeah, I mean, I leased the whole roadway to 30 metre easement by 600 metres for $1 for 100 years. But I have that on my land title, so
anyway, to cut a long story
Yep.
short, if anyone here that lives in Casey, you got, say, 4 or 5 cars in your garage that are unregistered, they are coming for those cars as well.
Right.
They stated it, that they are coming after the cars, because they even told Mike they were coming. They said, we're not after the cars in your garage for now. That's what they said to him. But when I went to the council meeting, because I was just curious as to, I'm not even in that council. I just thought I'd go down, check it out and see what was going on, you know, and find out some other side of the story. They were smiling and laughing, the councillors. They thought it was a big joke, and all the answers and all the questions that were asked were answered with legislation. They didn't answer a single question, and all they did is laugh and smile. There was nobody. That's what actually made everyone angry, but nobody actually physically come up to them to threaten them. They didn't need the police at all. It's just the media trying to make it more than what it was. I actually filmed the whole incident when everyone got really angry. But of course they're going to get angry. If you're going to answer with legislation, you're going to ask a question, you know, how is paying $450 a year for my unregistered car in my garage going to make it better? They answer with, oh, yeah, how's it going to change anything? How's paying money going to change the car being there? Exactly. And they turned around and said, under the law of this government, we allow 2 unregistered vehicles on 1 block of land, blah, blah, blah. And they just kept answering that they kept using that same legislation as an answer. It infuriated people. And well, that's right. That's what they did. They made, yeah, and they issued a law which was redacted. They issued a law that you have to, if you want to change oil on your own property, this is how it all started, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted to change oil on your own property, you had to pay permit fee, which was, I think, $250, but you had to pay a $150 fee to get the permit. So it's just ridiculous. It's just grabbing money. So whether those cars are there or not, look, I don't deny it. There's a lot of people that have got messes in their yard. And even Mike said, yeah, my yard was a bit messy. I got jet skis and boats, stuff all over the place. But if you've got a property and nobody else can see it, and they're your belongings, and you're not directly impacting on your neighbour's property, what's the big deal? I've got over 20 cars just in my garage at home. Yeah, and not all of them are registered, but nobody knows that they're there. Nobody can see them. Well, you know now. So, but but the laws in my council, this is the important part, right? The laws in my council state you can have as many unregistered cars as you want on your property. You can only have 1 that's in the open. So any that are covered, it's fine, right? But if the Casey Council get away with this legislation, how long will it be before every other council does it? This is the reason why we have to stand and say enough is enough. That's right. They work for us, not us work for them. And if they're short of cash, they shouldn't build these huge, lavish council offices that cost $1 billion.
I'm not sure that, I think we've probably done enough, but I'm not sure that they're new rules. Friend of mine got done for exactly the same thing in Burwood, just off Springvale Road, because he attracted the attention of the council because he had a couple of cars in his front yard. They went and saw him. He moved them. And then they got him for the cars that were behind the gates in the backyard and the half a dozen or so that were in his garage. None of them were, yeah. And this is going back 15 years now. So it's not new legislation by any stretch of the imagination. Absolutely, yeah.
And it just takes one person to make a complaint to council to get it all started up. Terry Dow had to move his museum. It had to close down because the neighbour complained that people going up to his museum caused dust on the road. And of course, one complaint, boom, the place is shut down. He's moved. He's moving at the moment. Boom.
Yeah, Guys Hill.
Guys, you-
Yeah. All right, we got a little video with a bit of luck, we can get it to run. And then we'll pull the sorry, Steve. Yes, my apologies. Last place I heard of that was doing stuff like that was actually in Albury, Steve. So I don't know the name, I could probably find it, but they were the last people I heard doing that sort of thing. The gully, the one in the gullies. Yeah, he's doing cabinet knobs, if anything, or he's gone. I don't know. Yeah, but that's because he's concentrating on doing cupboard handles and door locks because that's where the money is. Yep. Unfortunately. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? No, we'll just have a look at this video. Sorry. Yes. Yep. Oil. Oh, absolutely. We need to thank them. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I've still got 300 or 400 litres, but yep. So Lubramax. Yeah. Yep. No racists. Yes. Yes, Tom. I don't think so. We're at we could run the flyer around and see, but I mean the only reason we managed to get an order in last time was because I bought about 80% of it, and I just don't go through enough of it to buy another 80% of it this year. So because we needed to get a pallet load effectively, or a couple of pallet loads. Yep. 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 Well, that's so that's yeah, then sorry. Come on, Nick.
Yesterday I was with my tyre guy, and he's a collector, unbelievable collector of all vehicles. He's probably got 500-600 vehicles, right? And of everything. You've got name it, he's got it. And he showed me. I went in there, and I saw this black thing at the back, which I hadn't seen before, and with his tyres. That it's 1939 Citroen in concourse condition, the four-door sedan. You know, like you saw them. You know what I'm talking about.
The Avant,
I can't
the
remember
Avant
the
or
model.
whatever they were called.
Pardon?
The Avant.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. No.
Yeah.
I only had a Renault when I was a kid. It was 750, but anyhow, it was this
Light
is a Citroen.
15 was later, I think.
But the thing is, it's in unbelievably concourse condition. Never restored it, done a magnificent job.
Yeah.
But he said, you have a look in the back yards. And he said, can't you see anything there? I said, no. It's all full of bullet holes. So it's come out of Paris during the war, right? He's got bullet holes and left the bullet holes in it. And it's unbelievable, really, the condition of this vehicle. It's amazing. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Fire it up, mate. Just click on it, see what happens.
Top-rated air filters, premium spoilers.
It's the mid-1930s. Chrysler wanted to make an all-new six-cylinder for their commercial truck line. They decided to go down the diesel engine route. This would be the only diesel engine Chrysler would ever make, using Cummins in later years. For those that don't know, Chrysler was an engineering company back in the day. For example, all Chrysler products had hydraulic brakes from the start, offering hydraulic brakes in the 1920s, but during the late 1930s, the diesel engine was kind of an exotic idea here in the States. There wasn't really that many manufacturers to offer such an engine. Cummins, Waukesha, Mack, and General Motors were the only games in town. The diesel engine would be 331 cubic inch displacement. It would share a lot of the block design with the T43 Dodge HD truck engine, just with overhead valve and a different combustion chamber. The combustion chamber was a new concept called La Nova Air Chamber, which was essentially a pre-combustion chamber, which Chrysler called Twin Cyclone. The upper injector sprays across the combustion chamber. Some of the mist would go into a smaller pre-chamber called the energy cell. The air in the cell is hotter than the rest of the combustion chamber. About 40% of the fuel ignites in there. The flame front travels back out of the cell into the main combustion chamber, creating turbulence and igniting the rest of the charge. Chrysler claimed the initial combustion created around 1100 psi in the pressure cell, but when ignition occurred in the main chamber, only 700 psi was recorded. The La Nova system eased stress on the engine because of its slow and gentle combustion characteristics and delivered high diesel fuel economy at this point in time. Each cylinder had its own individual intake and exhaust ports. Bosch injectors that were rated at 2200 psi. The pump and camshaft were driven by gears. The pump could be timed from an access plate on the front cover. This engine also had a heating coil mounted to the top of the manifold for cold starting. Chrysler engineers would do a series of tests between diesel and gasoline engines. In one test, they compared a fully loaded T80 gasoline engine and this engine, which went by the name of T84 diesel, on a dynamo at various RPM ranges, ranging from 800, 1600, and 2400 RPM. At 2400 RPM, the diesel would burn 6.6 gallons per hour, while the gasoline engine used 10.7 gallons of gasoline per hour. With a full load at 800 RPM, the gasoline engine used the same 10.7 gallons per hour, while the diesel dropped down to 4.3 gallons burned per hour. Dodge also did real-world tests with these two, using 3-ton trucks, identical in every way but the power plant, ran them together 37,000 miles. The gasoline truck got 3.74 miles to the gallon, while the diesel got 5.23 miles to the gallon. 331 cubic inch displacement, 4-stroke, inline diesel 6, 5.424 liters. It was good for anywhere between 95 to 100 horsepower, 2400 RPM, 240 pound-feet, or 325 Newton meters between the RPM range of 800 and 1200 RPM. With a bore of 3.75 inches and a stroke of 5 inches, compression was 14.75 to 1. It's important to point out that the diesel required 24 volts, which was 4 6-volt batteries, 2 generators, one 24-volt unit and a 6-volt unit, 7 main bearing crankshaft. Chrysler also used this engine for marine and military applications, but was only produced in very small numbers. Sources are not cut and dry on how many units were produced. I saw a figure for 606 units produced throughout all of the years,
Hear me?
through all of the different
I'll do this while we're
applications.
listening to it.
Years this engine was
Oh.
used was between 1939 through 1942.
Beautiful. Door prize.
Yep.
Number 30. The white ticket. Anybody got number 30? George, well done, mate. Okay, B 39.
No fees.
There's no B.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my, seriously? Blue and green, orange or green? It's either orange or green.
There's no, it's got to be green. There's no orange.
There's no orange.
That one, yeah.
Orange.
B39 orange, just all here, so.
39 green then.
B39 green.
No, 39 greens here as well.
Let's give you a while.
Let's go
Give me a chance.
to A22.
Still here.
A6.
Still here. It's two, green and blue.
B21.
Still here.
B29.
Still here, still here. Yeah,
A55.
say again.
A55.
Someone's got it. Yay.
Is there two A55?
Oh, there's two. There's a blue one and a yellow one. Both are out.
Is there another one?
Oh,
Yellow
you
one?
got both of them.
We'll take two prizes.
Go.
B30.
B30, still here.
Take two.
Blue one's out there.
A38.
Blue A2.
Sure.
It's from display day. If anyone left it at display day where we put the cars on the right hand side as you went down the road, it was left behind. Belongs to anyone.
Good.
A7.
Blue's here, yellow's here.
B57.
Green's here, now still here.
A27. A27.
Still here, still here.
A15.
Still here.
A23.
Still here. Still here.
B23.
Still here.
Come on up.
Orange one's out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we get it? A21.
Blue's here,
A21. Anybody got an A21?
no, here.
They're still there.
Please take.
B34.
Someone's got the green one. And someone's got the orange one. Come on down. Is there anything left?
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything down? Well, how many more are down there, mate?
Take something, Ken. Take
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Is there anything left? There's still two presses. left.
A20.
Still here, still here.
A4.
Still here. Blue one's out there.
A4.
Yeah, come on, Daniel.
G52.
Who?
B52.
Green one's out there.
B52.
And the orange one's out there. First one in. Quick. That's it. Just
B52.
take it. Just.
Thank you. Yep.
Whatever. Whichever. Someone's got the B52 out there. Two of them out there. No one wants to sit there.
B13.
Yeah, green one's out there. And orange one's out there.
There's your B52
Yeah,
there.
B13. Oh, Mexico.
B13.
Yeah,
Yep.
You know.
That's the last one.
Yeah. Oh, come on. We're gonna make a stitch and all one.
You are a but. Okay.
It's
We're
gone.
done.
We're done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you to everybody on Zoom. Hope you saw something. I have no idea whether we got anything of that. Have a cup of coffee, have some supper. Thank you to whoever prepared supper. I'm guessing Kathy maybe. So thank you. Have a lovely night. See you Sunday. If you'd like to come via Lilydale, there are running sheets. Otherwise, we'll just see you up at the dam. Thanks, guys. Oh, yes. Yep.